Come down further. No, but I'll grab up to here. Some father-son bonding time. I think so. Alright, chill, God, I'm scared. Nah, bring it down. Can you bring me down? This is really sketchy.
Bring me down, Daddy. Daddy.
Please!
Hey, Daddy.
God, bring me down. I'm gonna shove my foot so far up your ass.
Daddy, can I come down, please?
Alright, no, yeah, bring us down. It's fucked.
Oh man, how many kilometers of rail? He's probably grinded from the Central Coast to Sydney and back a couple of times, probably.
And all types of steel. Like he grinded stainless steel ones, all kinds of them, like drop ones. Like he changed the handrail game.
He's grinded more handrail than anyone in Australia, surely.
He skates the craziest rails. Even in China, we get to this rail and it's this long, handicap rail. We all walk to the top of it and look down it, right? And he's at the bottom of it, looking up it. And we're like, yeah, this spot's not for us, And he just full speed is board sliding up this thing that you think you would skate down it. I don't know. He's just on another level, man. Dude's gnarly.
We're officially on the Central Coast, the homeland.
What's the name of your town?
Tumby-umby. It's a good place. My name's Rob Pace. I am a professional skateboarder and mechanical engineer.
Full? Want some more? Keep going. Go somewhere. Robert.
Yeah, young kid Rob, just super enthusiastic about life, always up for anything.
To be honest, he was always a pretty good kid. We were all a bit wild, fun wild. We did a lot of fun, stupid shit. Rob always comes along for the ride, and that's where he gets his fun, stupid shit from, I suppose.
Early home life was pretty interesting for me. I was always surrounded by people that like to sort of do action sports, in a sense. My sister was always a big influence on me, and she always had boyfriends that are around that were always into those sorts of activities, so.
Our house was always an open door and we had a lot of people there and a lot of my mates were there all the time, so he was just surrounded by that kind of big energy anyway, so always just got involved even from a young age. It was just thrown in the deep end.
I feel like my whole childhood was just being surrounded by people just sort of doing stupid shit, and I feel like that really rubbed off onto me. And
quad bikes, motorbikes, have a brand new car, pick up a brand new Toyota Land Cruiser, and we go out the Wattigans and I'd just jump it.
My dad was always riding motorbikes, or he used to actually race jet skis back in his heyday, so he was always the first guy to influence me to do something that's kind of stupid. But always in the best way, encouraging me to believe that I can do something, and whatever it was, he was always super encouraging, and he was like, if other people can do it, you can do it. All right, thanks. I'm gonna take him on the Grand Tour. You're gonna want to hold that and drink that. Yeah, you probably want to drink it. This is, I don't think anyone's been through here today, so there might be some crazy ass spiders. Watch your heads.
I'm in.
My stuff. Now you've done it. We're fucked. Pick up.
So I didn't know that was a skateboard origin story, but I certainly remember a couple of PlayStations being thrown.
Came home from work one day, had a bad day, I was really stressed out. I walked in the front door of the house and I could hear Rob and his brother just arguing, and I walked upstairs and I saw these two kids. It's 6 o'clock in the afternoon, they're still in their pajamas on the lounge. These guys hadn't even gone outside and they're playing PlayStation and now they're fighting over it. I'd had enough I just saw red. I've just gone straight up to the PlayStation and I've just grabbed it, ripped the wires out of it, and I've walked over to my bedroom, opened the window, and I just threw this thing through the screen, straight into the pool. And I just walked downstairs, drove down to the local shopping centre, bought 2 skateboards, came home, walk in the house, go upstairs, throw these boards on the floor at them. I said, now get outside and break a fucking leg. And I said, if I come home again, I see you guys in your pyjamas the whole day, I'll throw you both out.
Local skate park. Where are you at? The entrance skate park. It's the first skate park I ever learned to skate at. First drop in, first roll in, it's all here. No, I learned all my rail skating right there. This is it. It's the perfect rail to do crook pop over though. I came here with some family friends and I remember I was pretty scared to do it. My cousin had just gone down this one and my dad's very like, you gotta do it, he did it, you gotta do it. I was kind of like, I don't know. And my dad's friend, he went to drop in here and like, I think he might have even got to like halfway down the ramp and just face planted so gnarly. His face was all like teeth gone, like broken arm, like smoked himself. And I was like, well, that's like the possibly the worst outcome you could possibly do to go down this thing. And sure enough, my dad is still there like, no, you gotta do it still. And fuck, I guess at the end of it, I ended up going down it. The same session, I went down that bad boy, the big one. And then I guess I just stuck with it. Skating sick.
Here and out, that was what he did. Not far from where we lived, there was a skate park. You know, we used to take him down there, push this little kid off the little bowl and watch him fall on his face and just get back up and do it again, and he'd sit there and watch the other kids. I said, he'll hurt himself and he'll maybe stop. But no, he just kept on hurting himself and just got up and kept doing it.
I just remember my dad giving me like an old Twix board. And with the Twix board, it came with a Twix video, which had like Nigel and like Colin Provost and like a few other people. That was my introduction to it. I was like, whoa, like you can do all of that stuff on a skateboard. So that I feel like was just like, all right, well, like I want to be able to do that. The school that I went to, I actually had like a couple friends that would go down with their parents to the same skate park, which was very close by.
My first memory of Rob is literally, wow, that's a cool New York Yankees hat he's wearing. Because he had a collection of like different American team hats. And I remember thinking, damn, this kid's cool. He's got a cool hat collection.
That's where it all sort of spiraled because they're skating and learning things and then we're feeding off each other. You're always like trying to show off to your friends like some new stuff that you learn or something that you've done.
So our school for the longest time had surfing as a school sport. And at some point they conceded that skateboarding was just as good.
So this is my first primary school, Patriot Springs.
Yeah, every Thursday we would go to school for like 2 hours and then we'd go to the skate park for like 4 or 5 hours and Rob would pretty much put on a demo. I love that you guys went to the spots. It's like from a fever dream. So if you're a kid on the Central Coast or anywhere in the world, you go to the skate park, your parents drop you off at the skate park, you skate at the skate park for like an hour and then you want to go find street spots. And there aren't really any street spots in the entrance. It's pretty dry out there. So we would just find whatever we could. And we eventually found what we thought was the gnarliest spot in the world, which we called the Eagle Drop.
This way. So the reason this spot was called Eagle Drop is because the building had an eagle on top of it. And my uncle used to have this like, I think it was like an old antique shop, and the building owner went into his shop and bought the eagle and then they put it on the spot. It's like literally not even a spot, but it was back in the day. It's literally off that roof, just onto the ground. I mean, there's a reason why there's a no skateboarding sign on it. No skating.
The Eagle Drop is like just a drop. If you could acid drop off the eagle drop, you were like the coolest person on the Central Coast. You were the sickest skater. You wouldn't even ollie off it. You'd literally like drop off of the eagle drop.
It's so big. How did I even do that?
Rob was one of the first people, if not the first, to actually be like, I'm gonna try and do tricks off eagle drop.
It's so big.
Can we put that dumpster around?
No, fuck it. Oh my God. Mate, there's just no way. I'm not built the same anymore. There's no way I could do that. The singers. Mate, this is it. Off this, into the bank, glory ride. I did nollie burial hill. Still have no idea how I did that.
Tell me about your, was it your 15th birthday?
16th birthday.
16, what were you trying to get?
I was always pestering him for like some sort of half pipe. But on my 16th birthday, he's like, all right, you want a half pipe? No problem. Like, here's the tools and here is the wood.
We decided to get all the timber and we thought we'd build it. And we had no idea, we just figured it out as we went along and it was cool.
He showed me like, you know, the basics of how to use these tools. And he's just like, all right, you know, go make a half pipe. I was like coming home after school every day and just like running downstairs and like cutting wood up and like drilling all this wood together, and definitely made a few mistakes here and there, but like in the end, I built myself a half pipe at like 16 years old. I was so hyped.
Learn, use your hands. It's more fun when you build it yourself. Anyone can go out and buy something, but when you build it, you appreciate it more.
I've been friends with Rob for about 16 years. We used to skate together, but then very quickly I realized he's much better than me. So I picked my camera up and started filming him. He very quickly outshined everyone. Being a filmer, filming all my friends, I gravitated to just wanting to film him all the time back then. He needed guidance at the beginning. He didn't feel like he did because he's such a strong-willed person. He's like, nah, I'll just melon grab off this rooftop. And we're like, mate, like, that's awesome, but like, the broader skateboarding audience doesn't want to see that, unfortunately. So Riley and I, we'd be like, watch this video. You're good at rails. You could be like this. You could be better.
I would say like the moment where I thought like he seriously could be a pro skater was we went to this handrail in Sydney, and it was this rail with like a gap out. So it was like a rail and you had to gap out to the street. And we went there and he was kind of like jumping on boardies and like sort of sussing the spot out. And then he was just like, all right, I'm just gonna backsmith it. He just went for the backsmith. I think he did it like second shot, rolled away, and we were just like blown away. Me, Brendan, and even he was like, yep, we're on. I'm skating handrails now in the streets. Literally from that point, when he was 16, he has not stopped.
I realized pretty quickly that he is better than anyone in our friend group at skateboarding. I, at the time, was, and still am, obsessed with handrail skating. That's the only skating that I bother watching. And he was the first person of our age that could do that sort of stuff.
So last time I was here, the trees were like not trees, they were like just been planted. This is it. The first kink rail, this bad boy.
Were you scared at all?
I'm sure I was at the time. Never skated something like this. And the last person that skated it slipped out and did the whole like stomach, front flip, land into there. Classic. I came from like this side. It used to have some sketchy kink on it. Oh, you can see it there, it's still there. I cut it off. That's been there for years like that now.
Oh wait, let me get a picture of this. This is too good.
He was quiet and little, but yeah, very brave. And he, for some reason, was just jumping on big things that you could get sacked on. We were like, why does this kid want to skate rails so much? My name's Adam Tabone, I'm a skateboarder. Yeah, and I used to run a small brand in Australia, Scram Skateboards, yeah. Yeah, then we made a little team and Rob came in just a fraction after the first few riders. We were just filming and skating like we always had since we were kids. It was just making videos. I was just trying to give these kids boards because there wasn't really other sponsors for them at that time. So I guess we bridged that gap for a bit before they got found. So I was like forcing them into magazines, like make my own ads and put them in there and then.
I was always like skating you know, either for like a little local company or like, you know, working on projects and filming video parts. But I feel like at that era, it was all just fun, you know, going out with my friends, doing videos with Brendan. It ended up snowballing from there. Like we ended up doing an America trip. I'm like, first time going to America with the buddies that I skate with all the time. We went to like San Francisco and New York, and we just went out there and filmed with a VX. And when we got home from that trip, Brendan ended up making the video. It was called Double Egg and Cheese. When that video came out, someone from like Nike, Jeff Campbell, actually like seen it, must have been hyped on it, and ended up asking me if I wanted to skate for Nike SB Australia. Yeah, I feel like that really just sparked me, and I just went for it all in at that point.
Sometimes if I go to sleep and I've got a lot on my mind, I won't sleep. Just, you know, I'm just gonna go to work. So I came to work at 3 o'clock and I'm sitting in my computer at 3 o'clock and I hear this noise and I hear someone's walking up the stairs, and I'm thinking like, who's this? And then I look out the door and here comes Rob, and I said, what are you doing here? He said, I couldn't sleep. Wow. So here he is, he's sitting in his office doing his stuff, and 3:30 in the morning.
He finished school in 11th grade, which was like, he would have been 16, 17. And he went straight into an apprenticeship with his dad, which meant he was in the factory like 10 hours a day, every single day.
When he started out, we were teaching him a little bit, you know, how to cut steel, how to weld steel, and he was very good at it. He loved the welding, he loved cutting. And then we got our first machine, lathe, and he's lathing. And then we're getting more and more stuff, and he's learning more and more stuff. Probably the biggest project I had is that I needed to make a counterweight, which weighed 4 ton.
I was probably around like 17 or 18. We sold like a really big piece of equipment, something that is like one of the first times we've ever done it. The attachment we sold was so heavy for the machine that we needed to make a counterweight so that this thing just didn't fall over.
And I said, Rob, I need a 4 ton counterweight. It's a brand new excavator. So we're looking at close to $1 million of equipment. So when the guy picks it up, it's got to look like $1 million. I said, I don't care how you do it, I don't care what you use.
You know, I'm like cutting all the steel and like mending it all together. And then like the hard part was like, okay, we've made this big chunk of steel now. We've got to fix it to the machine, and it has to be safe and it has to look good. And in the end, he sort of really gave me the power to just do it my way. One of the biggest attachments and like specialized piece of machinery we still sell to this day, I kind of like did myself, job done.
I think I made a comment to you, bite off more than you can chew and chew like fuck. And that's what he did.
Look at this really big drill with this really big drill bit in it.
They're called tutulos. You know why they call them tutulos?
No.
Rob's work ethic is ridiculous. It doesn't make sense. He would go into the factory at 5 in the morning, work for 5 hours, hop in the car, drive 2 hours to Sydney, film 4 tricks, drive home, go straight back to work. Then you'd hit him up during the week, like, you skating this week? He's like, dude, I'm working. He's in there like 12 hours a day.
Saturdays to me have always been like the sacred skating day. With my film of Brendan, that's our day. My whole life, everything I've ever done, you can pretty well put down to like 90% of it. That was a Saturday. The only draw that matters. Yeah, we got the brick rub, the steel stick, the lacquer, we got wax. Accidentally make a fire. We're good. There's nothing we can't do. I'm always trying to be like, all right, Saturday, I want to go to this spot, this spot. We need to have enough time for that. This spot doesn't work right now. Let's fix it before we get there. Boom, get there, get it done, we're out.
No wasting time when skating with Rob. Most days, no lunch. He won't let me eat until he's gotten something, and I won't let him eat until I've got a clip in my camera. So sometimes that first spot, we'd get a trick and I'd be like, let's go eat. And he'd be like, no, I haven't hit my quota yet. You know, and he wanted to get 4 that day, you know, and he hasn't got the one he wanted. So most days I don't eat till I get home, but whatever.
I feel like my work ethic sort of really derived from just seeing how hard my family's always worked. My grandmother, she's like a traditional Italian lady that came from Italy with nothing. and they had to work so hard to like become someone in Australia.
Man, it is so hard to break out of the Australian skateboard scene. It always has been. It's pretty much impossible to do it from Australia.
How it sort of seems to work in Australia is that you graduate from a small board sponsor to a distro flow. Getting past that typically involves paying your own way overseas, skating with the right people, those people liking you, getting a lot of footage while you're there, and you've got to do that over and over again. And 95% of the time, besides the 5% of lucky people, you've got to pay for that yourself. And Rob did that.
Specifically, it was more about kind of just showing the brands that I had at the time, you know, hey, I've got a job, I actually have my own money, I can come here and film, which is just what I wanted to do anyway, because like, who doesn't want to go overseas and skate? That's sick.
You definitely have to make it twice in Australia, once here, hopefully once over there.
Rob was never shy about having goals in skateboarding. We would look at like photos of Jake Duncombe and Lewis Marnell and Chima Ferguson, Nick Pizzero, or whoever, and be like, dude, Australian Skater of the Year, that's sick, I want that. Like he would point that out as like something that he wanted. Australian Skater of the Year is a big deal in Australia. These are like the greatest Australian skaters of all time that have gone on to become US pro skaters through winning Australian Skater of the Year.
I just got on Volcom. They had given me like, you know, like sort of like my first package. And I remember like Shane Azar like hitting me up and he's like, we really need Riley to do some photos to like, you know, introduce you to the team. So I was like, oh, it's a big day today. Like I need to get as much photos as I can in this clothing. I think I ended up getting like 4 clips that day. It was such an epic day. By the end of the day, it was fully raining. And they were like, oh, one last spot. I'm like, dude, guys, I'm like pretty burnt out now. Like I'm smoked. We ended up going down to this park and I remember the boys were like saying something about another homie like skating this spot. I'm like, we're in a grass field. There's like not really any concrete around and it's dead flat. I'm like, what could we possibly be skating here? And then I'm walking across the lawn and like sure enough, I look up and I can just see like a buddy, all my family and all my friends just like running at me and with the Sodi trophy. And I was just like losing my mind. I was just like, man, this is like the sickest day ever.
So like at the time he was skating for the deluxe brands. He was skating for Real Spitfire and Thunder. Thunder was like, yeah, film this part, it's gonna be a Thunder part. Like he filmed the part was incredible. He won Australian Skater of the Year out of that part. And those brands just didn't want the part. And they kind of were just like, look, you know, the team's full, it's stacked, like we're really sorry, you live far away, we can't do it. That was pretty soul crushing for all of us. And then he was sponsorless. Like he lost his shoe sponsor, lost his board sponsor, wheel sponsor, truck sponsor, because they just weren't able to support him.
All the boards he had, he spray painted black, bought a couple of different brands of shoes, skated with heaps of people.
That was a massive learning curve to being not in the industry in the States. I had all these sponsors in Australia, you know, and they were supporting me and doing the best they can for me. And like I was self-funding all of my trips to the States. And then winning the Australian Sodi thing, I was like, damn, like I must have done a pretty good job, you know? I copped it on the chin, yeah, definitely a little bit deflating.
There was a point I remember talking to him and I was like, this is your shot. You've only got one life. You have to give it a good crack. Like if this is your dream and this is what you want to do, don't worry about work, don't worry about anything else, just like go for it.
My thing's always been, you know, shit just happens and whatever. It doesn't matter. It's kind of like making a mistake, building something. It doesn't go the way that you really wanted to, but you can fix it and you can just keep going. You can keep building stuff. Skating doesn't owe me anything. It's just me. I just want to skate. So I just kept skating, kept doing all these things. And then these positive changes started happening.
And then that was like a 3-month trip to the States. I think while he was there, that's when NHS came knocking.
Yeah, I remember him going overseas like on a trip with no sponsors, and he was skating like toy machine boards and baker boards and any boards that anyone would give him. And then Andrew Cannon hit him up kind of out of the blue and was like, are you getting boards from anyone? Like, what's going on with that?
Eric Polazzolo hit me up, the TM of Santa Cruz, expressing some interest in my skating and potentially saying, hey, like, do you want to ride for Santa Cruz? At first glance, I was a little unsure. And I ended up going out to the States, and I had a meeting with Andrew Cannon at the time, that was the brand manager. He was just telling me, he's like, well, this is how we run our ship. This is what we do for our skaters. This is what's standard. This is what you can expect from us, which was amazing. I loved that. Hell yeah, I'm down for Santa Cruz. Like, let's do this. You know, that was like, it couldn't have rolled out any better, really.
You know, when I heard that was going to happen, I couldn't contain myself. You know, I called Riley, said this is happening. I called Boss Attachments, his work. I said, hey, can you put Livio on?
I was at work and my staff got a phone call from one of you guys over there and telling us that he's turning pro. We'd like to do a little video. So when we present it to him, you know, there's a video of you talking, and I thought, fuck that, I'll just get on the plane and I'll come. And I did. And the problem is the day that you guys had it, the day or two after, I already had a flight booked to go to Papua New Guinea to install some equipment. And I thought, well, I can do this, and that's what I did. I flew to San Fran, landed that afternoon, got to sleep, got up in the morning, and got in the car and raced down to Santa Cruz. Presentation was around midday or something like that, and it worked out pretty good, as long as I left there by 2 to get back to San Fran, to get on my flight to Sydney, and that's what I did.
I remember Brendan calling me and being like, dude, they're gonna turn Rob pro in a week in Santa Cruz at the NHS office. I was like, damn, in a week? He's like, yeah, I just heard about it now. I'm like, I guess I'm booking flights.
We were planning to do a big camping trip up to Vancouver, which I was like super, super hyped for. We all sort of met up at NHS, and I'm there, and then just randomly, my dad just sort of jumps out the woodworks. He's holding my board, and I was just like, oh my God.
Hey Rob, check out this shit. I turned pro before you.
I remember what I said when we were there, actually. Hey Rob, I got my first board before you, and I'm holding the pace board. And he's like, you heard my voice, but you don't expect it, so you think like, what's going on? He's like, how's this happening?
Yeah, it was one of the best moments of my life even, let alone Rob's life. Like, it was such a whirlwind thing, because it was like, fly in, he's turning pro the next day, and then he was going on a trip straight away. So we were all there like, hey, congrats on turning pro. He's like, dude, I can't believe you're all here. What, I'm pro, that's crazy. And then Pizzle's like, all right, in the van, we're driving to Vancouver right now. Like, and we were like, all right, see ya.
I was just like, this is insane, like so unbelievable. And then to just come off a high like that and then to just go onto a trip was just insane. Such a sick experience and such like a good time I'll never forget.
Yeah, he's not slowing up. He's kind of at the peak of his skating, I would say, right now.
I wouldn't consider Rob my friend, I would consider him my family. Family to him though means everything. He's grown up with that, and that's how he treats all of his friends.
Rob will drop anything for anyone at any time. Like, and he's done that with me. He's just handy on all fronts. Like, he can fix things and build things, and he's got it all.
Can I have a beer, or should I put the beer down? Probably should put the beer down. Oh, we're getting rained on now. We're getting rained on, we gotta go, move out of the way. So, 2 years ago, I decided I wanted to build an off-road camp trailer. This is it. A lot of blood, sweat and tears, and it's been probably my most exciting thing I've probably ever made. This is the sleeping cab. It's pretty comfortable. We got like a whole heap of storage. Anyone that knows anything about sort of off-roading, it has like a specialized off-roading hitch, which is like a spherical. We have solar, which is important when you're off-grid, a fridge. We have a big awning, so this awning like comes right around. And then this is probably the coolest part. It has like a big fold-out sort of kitchenette. So this drops down and has like a 2-burner on it. We have power to our water pump. Last thing on the back is, this is a hot water system and a shower curtain. So we can turn the pump on, have a hot shower. The luxuries of living off-road, really. But yeah, this is one of the most proudest things I think I've ever made from scratch. I designed it all. I did it all on like AutoCAD. That's the camp trailer.
Rob the Adventurer is a relatively, I don't want to say it's a recent thing, but so Rob's grandma was like a caravan driving, like traveling around the country kind of character, which obviously rubbed off on him.
There she is. She's in her natural habitat, drinking a beer.
Hi Rob, how you going?
Wow. This is your life's work here.
More or less, yeah. 41 years at least of collecting and fossicking and
Where did all the stuff come from?
all over Australia.
Just traveling around Australia non-stop with a car and a caravan.
Yep, and a boat.
And a boat.
And a motorbike.
And a motorbike. Fishing and picking up rocks.
Yep, yep.
That's all they did for 40 years.
Yep.
I've always wanted to go around Australia and do all of that stuff and explore the way that you guys explore.
And just enjoy. That's the most important part, is just getting out there and enjoying it. Building memories. So.
Yeah. Do these like extravagant trips around Australia that is like camping and adventure lifestyle, and I feel like this huge portion of that lifestyle is do nothing. I get like 30 minutes into that and I'm like looking around, I'm like, what can I possibly do to keep my brain just doing something? Man, that's probably one of my biggest problems, is like my brain just does not switch off. It's crazy. So my Vulcan part has just sort of come out, so I guess I'm like out on a clean, fresh start again. My new project that I really want to focus on is I want to make a bit of like a creative video part in my workshop at Boss Attachments, do something a little different, and then, you know, go film another video part probably. I'm really like focused on my dad's and family's company. I've been finding myself starting to really enjoy learning about how businesses work. I want to just become better at making things, learn new skills, you know. There's always something to learn, and I just want to keep learning and bettering myself.
He was pushing himself to chase his dream. He's probably doing what normal kids wish they could do, but didn't have the drive to go and chase that dream. You know what I mean? His dream was to be a pro skateboarder, and he gave it his all. You do a hard day's work, and at the end of the day, you grab that beer. It's the best beer ever. But if you just wake up one day and go and grab a beer and drink it, it's just a beer. But the one after you've worked physically hard on a stinking hot day, that first one is amazing, and that's a bit like what he's done with skating.